Hello fellow enthusiasts and welcome to another Let's Get Reel's movie review. Today's movie I will be reviewing is a chick flick, and I hate chick flicks, but I have decided to torture myself and watch Sleepless in Seattle. It was boring as hell, and here is why. The movie is about a guy named Sam Baldwin, played by Tom Hanks. He's just lost his wife, and he has a young son named Jonah. He decides after his wife passes away that he's going to move him and Jonah out to Seattle on a houseboat. One night, Jonah is listening to a radio station. It's one of those programs that DJ gives love advice, or, you can dedicate songs to somebody you love, things like that. I don't know if any of you guys remember that stuff on the radio. So Jonah starts telling the DJ about his dad, about Sam, and how he's lonely, how his mom died, and all that stuff. And then the DJ said, "Oh, why don't you put your dad on the phone and we'll talk to him?" So Jonah put Sam on the phone. Sam is not happy that his son has called in and started talking about his personal life. And then he starts talking, he gets going, he starts opening up. He said, "Yes, I do miss my wife," and all this stuff. And all the lonely women out in America are just turning to puddles of mush, listening to his every word. And one of those people is Annie Reed, played by Meg Ryan. She is all the way on the East Coast, out in Baltimore. And she's on her way home. She's listening to this program, and she hears Sam, and she says things. It's weird. I don't even really know how to explain it, but she would say, "Oh, like this person," and Sam said the same thing. So in Annie's mind, it's like, "Oh my God, we are so meant to be together. We said the same thing. We like the same thing. We understand each other. We have to be together." Well, Annie works at a newspaper, and everybody is talking about this radio program, and the DJ has dubbed Sam Sleepless in Seattle, since she obviously doesn't know his name. He didn't give his name. And everybody, all the women in America are like, "Oh, Sleepless in Seattle. Oh, what a nice man. Oh, so lonely. I'll keep him company." Annie wants to go and interview Sam, but that's what she says for the paper. But, she really just wants to go obsessively stalk him and say, "Oh, we should be together. We like the same thing." So Jonah, the smart kid that he is, gives the radio station their house address. And then they start getting all these letters from all these women all over the place, saying the same thing. "Oh, I'll date you. I feel so bad. Don't be lonely. I'll come and make you not lonely anymore." And Sam, he's not happy at all. He doesn't want this. So Annie finds this, and she starts obsessively stalking him. I think she even has somebody go out and take pictures of him to kind of investigate him a little bit, which is really, really weird. She goes out there and she doesn't even talk to him. She goes all the way out there and just watches him. And then she goes back. She's all dejected. She's all heartbroken. So some other such nonsense happens. I think Jonah reads Annie's letter and she's like, "Hey, I'll be in New York on Valentine's Day. If you're out there, why don't we meet on the top of the Empire State Building?" Just like in the movie An Affair to Remember, which I will go into as soon as I get this plot done. Well, Jonah reads the letter and he goes, "Oh, Dad, we have to go out there." Well, of course, Sam's not going to listen to him. He's not going to listen to his son and this crazy person who's writing letters to him. Jonah's had enough. He's like, "Oh, whatever, I'm going to take this in my own hand." The little sucker gets on a plane by himself. Somehow he manages to pay for a flight all the way out to New York for Valentine's Day, which of course, makes Sam have to follow him because Sam's got to go get his son. And crazy kid going out there by himself. So to speed up this process, Annie and Sam meet at the Empire State Building, and oh, it's love at first sight. They love each other. Oh, yay. The end. Thank you, God. I can't even explain to you how tortured I was sitting through this. I was so bored. Obviously, I knew what was going to happen. It's a chick flick. Chick flicks are so predictable. There was only 2 scenes out of this whole movie I thought were really funny. One scene involved Rosie O'Donnell sitting with Meg Ryan watching An Affair to Remember, I mean, it wasn't even that funny, but I just liked it. I liked Rosie O'Donnell in that scene a lot. And then the other scene is Rita Wilson, who I believe is supposed to be Tom Hanks' sister, and she's actually his wife in real life, but besides the point. Rita Wilson is there at Tom Hanks' house, and so is Victor Garber, who plays Rita Wilson's husband. And she starts explaining the plot of An Affair to Remember, which it is a sad movie, and I told you I would get to it. So she starts crying a little bit, because it is a little teary, the movie, a little sad. And forget it, the two guys start ripping into her, and they start explaining a war movie, and they just start cracking up. They're like pretending to cry, and that was so freaking funny, because that's something I would do, explaining the plot of a chick flick. Like, oh, that was just so sad, I can't handle it. That was great. So just those two scenes, which I think you can find on YouTube, actually. I know the one with the three of them, with Victor Garber, Rita Wilson, and Tom Hanks, it is on YouTube. Definitely go find it. It was really fun. Only redeeming scenes of that entire movie, and the only ones I thought were really good. As promised twice, I said I would explain An Affair to Remember. An Affair to Remember is with Cary Grant and Deborah Carr, and it is essentially pretty much the same type of deal with Sleepless in Seattle, only Sleepless in Seattle is a little bit happier. I'm not going to go into a whole review. If you want to see a review of An Affair to Remember, leave it in the comment, and I will do it some other time. But Even Remember is a remake of Love Affair from 1939 with Irene Dunne and Charles Boyer, which is a fantastic movie. Now, I do understand that both of them, An Affair to Remember and Love Affair, are technically considered women's pictures from their time periods, but to me, I don't consider them chick flicks. Like what you would think of as chick flick today, I don't consider them to be like kind of chick flicks. They're dramas, but they're really good. They're extremely well acted and just extremely well written and directed. So highly suggest going to watch those two movies, Love Affair and An Affair to Remember, way over Sleepless in Seattle. It was just, Sleepless in Seattle just was not up my alley at all. It did not interest me. As I said, I only watched it because I heard it was a classic, and few people I know have seen it and they enjoyed it. I just could not get into it whatsoever. Just tortured through and through right from the beginning. If you like this review in any sort of way, if you found it somewhat entertaining, if you related to it, whatever, hit the subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, leave your comments down below. Maybe you hate chick flicks too, let me know, and we'll talk. I want to talk to you if you hate chick flicks. I want to commiserate with somebody. As always, keep watching movies and stay absolutely fabulous.